Here in room 43 of the National Gallery, we are confronted by this huge, over-life-size painting, At Ansière, by the French painter Seurat.
That's exactly the right word to use, confronted, because this painting really does do just that. It greets you as soon as you enter the room, and of course no one can deny the scale. It measures over 6 feet high and 9 feet wide.
So what I love so much about this painting is that it's so much of a particular place and time.
It really does capture the zeitgeist of the fin de siècle Paris.
It's set on the banks of the Seine in the suburb of Ansière, which you can visit to this day and see the location, although it has changed with the years.
The idea of change is crucial for the painting. Seurat has given us a glimpse of a society on the cusp of the true modern era.
And that's really shown by these factories in the background. We can see the smoke plumes going into this pastel sky, and we can even discern a railway.
All signs of a recently developed society embracing modern technology.
Would it be true to say that there's some connection between the figures in the foreground and these factories?
I definitely think that Seurat is trying to create that connection. These are blue-collar workers, indicated by their bowler hats and relative state of undress. I think it's reasonable to assume that these are workers from the factory, perhaps enjoying some time off.
So, it's very interesting that you brought up class, and as you said, these figures are members of that newly developed working class. Is that something that Seurat was particularly interested in?
Of course. If this painting represents life on one side of the Seine, the working class side, then we can see the other side of the river to be of the upper class.
And that's shown by these boaters and their straw hats, which portrays them as upper class.
In fact, Seurat made a companion piece depicting life on the upper class side of the Seine.
That painting is, of course, the famous Sunday Afternoon on the island of Le Grand Jatte.
So, shall we talk about the provenance of this painting? Because I think that's really interesting.
Sure, so this is a painting grouped under the broad term post-impressionist, which is really a catch-all term for those painting after the impressionist movement of the 1860s and 1870s. And it includes the work of Cézanne, Van Gogh and Gauguin.
And what differentiates this painting from impressionist paintings? Because at first glance they both seem to be of an outdoor scene, exploring the optical effects of light.
So there's a couple of things. Firstly, the scale. Impressionist pieces were often painted en plein air, and as a result the canvases were usually quite small.
So that's clearly a difference. What else?
The subject matter, for one. Seurat is borrowing a theme from the canon of academic art, the outdoor bathers scene, and putting his own twist on it. In fact, these figures in profile have often been compared to the figures of Piero della Francesca. Also, the creation process. As I mentioned, Impressionist pieces were often created in one sitting. Manet famously painted Impression Sunrise in only 42 minutes. Whereas this painting has clearly been created in a studio after careful planning. He made 14 sketches and 10 preparatory drawings.
But it would be incorrect to say that he wasn't influenced at all by the Impressionist movement. You can see that Seurat has paid particular attention to the effects of light and shadow.
Now, Seurat is, of course, well known for his pointless technique, but that's not present here, is it?
No, it's not. But we can see the precursor to pointillism, divisionism. Seurat was heavily influenced by the colour theories of Chevreul and Rude and came up with his theory of optical blending, whereby if colours were next to each other but not actually mixed, they would blend in the viewer's eye to make the colours more vibrant.
Although it must be said that he did later touch up some areas in true pointillist fashion. For example, we can see dots of orange and blue in the boy's hat.